Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm on my smartphone.
sports, like basketball, football, soccer, and any other sport that you play. It cannot be done without the community. We have so many crimes that occur within the community. We do not have police that can stand in front of everybody's house. We just don't have 100,000 police officers. So, and in fact, it takes, like they say, it takes a community, it takes a village working together. Because where we can't be, the eyes and ears have to be from the community. So it's the community in which we serve, the community in which you live. We are committed, all of us have to play a part, because it cannot be better unless we work together. So with that in mind, I got a little short movie to show everyone. So I think you might like it. I think so. And if you don't, I'm sure you're gonna tell. You have to have some next time.
Yeah, everything next time. Okay, so the next time, sorry.
Because I believe that most people are visual, I think, in fact, with the police officers now, we wear body cams on our uniforms. We have cameras affixed to our police vehicles in the front and the back. I think it's because we've arrived in a place in society where some of us don't always tell the truth. Unfortunately, that's the reality of things, because at the end of the day, police are human beings. But more importantly, you can see it for yourself. So I asked my good NPOD Rob here to put together just to kind of show you some that we've been doing here in the 11th Precinct to try to improve the life of residents in this community. So we go ahead and cue it up. And if anyone has any questions at any time, feel free. I'm just going to kind of breeze through this and then we'll continue the agenda for tonight. So what you're looking at here, this is a report that's put out daily. It's emailed to everyone in the department. It's informatics. Informatics is a team. The department has hired a lot of smart people, and they compose and keep track of all the statistics and everything that go on with regard to the police department. So as you can see here, this is the overview for today. And this overview is basically a report that ended at midnight last night. So it's the statistics report. So as you can see, what we track here, criminal homicide, for some of you who can't see in the back, criminal homicide, sexual, aggravated assault, robbery, burglary, larceny, motor vehicle theft. These are part of our Part 1 crime category, how we categorize crimes. Then you have your non-fatal shootings and your carjacking. So this, and when we look at this, the only way, and certainly I understand, any crime, one crime in this community is too many. So because, and all crimes are important to me. And certainly you cannot belittle a person who, say, is punched in the face, who is assaulted, or someone's home which is burglarized, or someone who's murdered. It all affects us the same, and everybody is impacted individually. So, but in looking at this, they do a comparison to the prior 7 days, what the statistics look like year to date for 2024. And what we do is we compare them to the statistics of 2023. So that's kind of a way, it's really no way, but that's the method in which we use to rate our crime. So say last year, this time, April 9th, 2023, these were our crime statistics. And so when you look at all of these categories of crime in comparison to this year, this is the change. And as you can see, look at all of the green. The green means that the crime is trending down. We have one area which is red, and unfortunately, that's burglary. So if you look at it, in all of those areas of crime in comparison,
But can you guys see okay, or do you want the lights on? Is that okay?
Yeah, let's turn the lights back on.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It just needs to be big, yeah, I can't see it, yeah.
it just needs to be bigger. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead and turn it back on then if that's.
Okay, that's good right there.
That's okay, okay.
That's
I'm
bad.
sorry, Catherine.
okay, no problem. So tonight, what I'm asking is, in the community, you're gonna see sometimes, in our instincts, everybody in here can be a police officer. Because we all have instincts, God-given instincts. You know when you see something that doesn't look right, something that doesn't fit in. You should call the police. Now they've gotten so slick now. We're in the age where we have Amazon, we have all of FedEx, we have all of these different companies that are delivering packages to our homes. That's the method in which we're 2024. Now we're shopping now to the point that brick and mortar stores, if we continue down this route, we're not gonna have any stores to go shop at because everything is gonna be delivered to your home. That's the age in which we're living now. So now the criminals are constantly evolving. They're constantly getting smarter. So now you got criminals putting on those yellow vests, carrying boxes up to the door like they're delivering packages. They don't work for Amazon. What they're doing is they're knocking on the door, waiting to see if anybody answers. So when they knock, they stand there, or some of them will come, they got a clipboard, you know, they got their vest on, they knocking on, they stand there and knock and knock and knock. And after about 5 or 6 minutes, no one answers, guess what they do? They leave off the porch and they hit, and then the next thing you know, a guy come up, break the window and break into your home. Or kick the door and come to your home. So I'm telling you that this is a method that we're finding now as we're tracking these crimes. So as the community, it's my job to provide you with information and intelligence as to how crime is occurring and evolving. So we need your help. When you see things like this, call us. If you know you want to remain anonymous, if you want to call the NPOs, but immediate response, call 911. That is our job. You see something that doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, it's never too much to call 911. That is our job. That is what we are paid to do, respond to the citizens. So don't feel bad about calling the police. So if you see something like that, please call us. So that's just kind of one of the new things that we've seen in looking at the burglaries that are occurring within this community. So that was an overall city view. So now we're gonna look at the crimes within the 11th precinct. So within the 11th precinct, unfortunately, criminal homicides. Last year this time we had 4. Sadly, the report, they found a young man dead over on Robinwood this morning, shot. So now we're up to 9. So last year this time we had 4. This year we have 9. I can go into my theories why I think that those crimes are occurring. But we're gonna continue being diligent with what we do here at the 11th precinct. Sexual assaults, last year we had 11. This year we have 12. So we're 1 over what we had. Anyone is certainly 1 too many, but we're 1 over what we had last year. For aggravated assaults, these are assaults that take place with weapons. So someone assaults someone with a firearm, someone hits someone with a bat or something of that nature. That category is an aggravated assault. Last year we had 203 this time. This year we had 189. So at least in that category, we're trending downward. Next slide. Non-fatal shootings. Last year we had 14. This year we're currently at 11. Robberies, last year at this time we had 26. This year we have 22 year to date. For carjackings, last year we had 4 at this time. This year we have 0 this time. Thank God. Next slide. Burglaries, as we've already talked about, unfortunately, last year we had 74 this time. This year we have 88 year to date. So we're in an increase here. So, but we've started a B&E team, a burglary team. So we're aggressively looking at those burglaries that are occurring in the precinct, and we are diligently addressing those. Larcenies, last year we had 276. This year to date we had 252. And motor vehicle theft, last year we had 159. This year we're at 141. So out of the 9 areas, 3 areas we show an increase in crime. So 6 areas. So I like to think we're doing pretty good, but we can do more, and we will do more. And this is a breakdown of the response time. I thought this would be important to show you the time that from the time you call 911 to the time that it's sent to a police dispatcher, then they are the ones who dispatch that to the police department. So for the prior day, we're answering runs at about 11 minutes and 54 seconds. Not too bad. We can do better. The prior week we were answering runs at 11 minutes and 36 seconds. So we're working to improve that response time because I know when people call 911, it seems like an eternity for the police to arrive. I know growing up on the east side of the city, my home was burglarized a number of times growing up. So I know how that feels, that violation and that sense of loss. So I'm committed to this. So I wanted to kind of be transparent and just kind of provide you with some of the areas that the crimes and time things that we're tracking and what we're up against to try to improve. Next, yes, ma'am.
Okay, in the part of the burglaries, are these burglaries of business? Are these burglaries of residents? I mean, is it broke up, like how many businesses is being broken into?
In this, I didn't break it down, but the burglaries encompasses residential and business.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't break that down if you need.
I mean,
to.
it's just curious. I mean, is it more residents being broken into? Or is
Yes.
it more, okay,
Areas, yeah.
okay.
Any other questions? So,
We have a question online too, sir.
yes,
KR. KR. Please ask your question. You got your hand up.
so in our commitment, and I told you when I first got here in October, my pledge was to be committed to crime suppression. Not only with interacting with the community, but addressing the very issue that affects all of us, the safety of our community, which is the safety of our city. And I do that. My first thing is crime suppression. Everybody who knows me knows that that's the philosophy that I subscribe to, crime suppression. Because you can't have a thriving or safe neighborhood unless we address crime. And the men and women here at this precinct, I direct them to address crime. So with that, one of our things we found that narcotics affects the very fabric of the neighborhood. Nobody wants to live next to a house where they're selling drugs. You got all of these, unfortunately, these people are addicted, running in and out, doing sometimes some things that are just immoral and committing all these petty crimes. You have to live in that community. So I understand that, and I understand the ripple effect of narcotics and the impact it has on the community. So the team, when I got here, I increased the number of staffing on the special operations and ceasefire team. After that, I looked at what their qualifications were, what their training consisted of. I sent the members here to the SWAT team and had all of them raid trained. Because my philosophy in crime suppression is we gotta start hitting some of these dope houses. Because these dope houses, and I understand living and growing up in a community where there's drug houses on the street, and that affects, you got children playing, sometimes you got needles on the ground, in the grass, and all of these different things that you're suspect to. So what I did was, I started increasing the number of narcotics warrants in these houses that's selling all kinds of drugs. So I just put a slide here to kind of show you some of the, just a few of the houses that we've hit. This is one house. This is another house. This is another house. This is another house. So these are some of the houses. Didn't want to put up the addresses because I know some of you in here, y'all might go over there with y'all pistol. And I don't want y'all going over. I want y'all to leave that to me. So I just put up a few pictures. Next month, I'm gonna put up a few more because I'm demanding that we continue to put our foot on their necks. We have to address the crime that's affecting the neighborhoods. And then transitioning not only with the crime suppression piece, I understand that living in the community, you don't want to go out and see all of this trash, all of these abandoned vehicles, these boats strewn throughout the neighborhood. Everybody just dump their boat when you live in the neighborhood and you have nothing, nobody won't respond. So I'm trying to do my best in addressing that as well. Next slide. Yes, ma'am.
Are these, those houses, some of the houses that you show, are these vacant properties or are these, are they occupied by individuals? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it a vacant house that they done went in and set up shop, or are these?
Some of them are.
Okay.
Yep, some of them are. So as you see, we've got these boats, we've tagged them, the orange sticker. I can't, these we didn't get these are the before, but the after pictures we didn't get on these. But they were, these boats were removed. Next slide. This was a vehicle. As you can see, it was towed. Yes, ma'am.
Did you guys find out who the boat belongs to?
We tag them, give them time to, and then after that, we come through, by law, we come and we tow
A lot of times they dump boats because it's hard to get rid of, so they dump them.
them. Yeah.
If they had any value, they would keep.
What, you don't have a number on the boat that you can trace or something?
There is a number.
That's
Yep,
what I
MC
thought.
number. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
serial number, you can find out who is going on to it and make sure they pay. Don't this crap with our neighbors.
That's a good idea. We just, the city, yeah.
Yeah, I do, the loaner boat, like, what, we have.
Yeah.
The loaner boat, and you got something on it, where you can trace them right up to me. Yeah.
But you know what, the city just looked at, yes, sir.
Yeah, even though boats have serial numbers and they have to have turn sticks just like you do with a license plate. After a while, if you don't get that new sticker and you don't register that boat, pretty soon it's not in the system. So when we go out on those boats, we got the numbers and stuff. We'll try to run them, but a lot of times they don't come back to anything. Because they didn't have them boats sitting up somewhere else, might have been in the garage. Now they decide they're gonna toss them out into the vacant lot, or they tossing them out on the street. And that's another headache for all of us, because they go both. And the numbers, because it hasn't been registered in a number of years, so it's not in the system anymore.
They don't have that, so they can price it?
No,
No.
they have a set of numbers.
Yeah, the MC numbers.
But
they
but
get
if you had a
taken off.
car and you didn't register that car, that been in a number of years,
Same thing.
it'll fall out of the system too.
So we've just taken it upon ourselves, city, to try to clean up the neighborhoods. With people who have RVs, campers just sitting in the neighborhood. Told, we tagged it, told it. Yes, sir.
Commander, is it Captain?
Captain.
Captain?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how often are you hitting the drug houses? Once a month or every other month or
Every week.
every week?
Every week we do a different location every week. So we,
That's amazing.
I mean, you know, we owe that. That's our job, is to serve our citizens. That's our job. So I'm committed to that, and I preach that to the officers here. And so I demand that they do at least, because they doing some other things too.
Right,
But I demand that they do at least 2 a week.
right. Well, you know, the statistics that you were going through, you're definitely improving in some key areas where crime is coming down. So that was looking pretty good.
Thank you, sir. We doing our best. I'm gonna keep pushing. My slogan for this year, I tell officers, is more in 24. We gotta do more in 24. So, this is another lot that we found several vehicles on. This is the before, this is the after. Clean that lot up. Next picture. This was a vehicle that was left. And we give you 48 hours, we tag it on a public street. It's not moved. We told it. Next slide. And I know everybody here is sick of this. This doesn't happen in the suburbs. It only happens in the city of Detroit. So, you know, come and dump these things are, it's hard to destroy and this rubber. But you can, exactly, next slide. We got some concerned citizens that helped. You see the next slide. Made them stack them up. And then the next slide. Ultimately, they were all picked up. So, this is another location. This is right up by Mound in Nevada, right up the street. Another location with a bunch of tires dumped. Next slide. All cleaned up. That's the movie. I hope everybody enjoyed the movie. Some more, a little bit more to the movie. National Reading Month. We also take the time to go to our neighboring schools and interact with the children, because you gotta reach them young. Because if you don't reach them young, you know what they'll grow up into. So we try to promote the image that the police, I know people don't like the police, but we are necessary to a community. You know, and I think the chief is doing a good job. The current chief, James White, is doing a good job holding us accountable. If we go out here and mess up, we get suspended. If we do things that are labeled egregious, we're getting fired. So I think there has to be that level of accountability for police, because we should not just be out here abusing our authority. So you have the faith and confidence in Chief White that he is holding us accountable. And I am holding the officers here at the 11th Precinct accountable. But then we take a time to try to interact with the youth. So I had an opportunity to go to, what was that, Commonwealth School, middle school, this past month, and interact with some of the middle schoolers there. So I read a couple books. There's a couple photos. That's NPOD Rob there reading to the class. Yes, ma'am.
That's not DPS CD.
Oh, this is, charter school.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
So we go to all of them. Don't get it twisted.
Doing something.
Equal opportunity readers.
Section I belong to, which is National Action Network. They go to like schools and read to the children like Davidson and, you know, whatever's in our area, they want us to volunteer, so.
We can do that too. We can coordinate that too, ma'am. So, this is NPO Marie. She was here. She was reading. NPO, D-Rob again. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it.
Are you confiscating like any drugs, weapons, cash? Are you, when you
Oh, yeah,
do seize these drug homes,
So,
when you raid them?
What's up?
so there's, so I don't know if any of you ever been on a narcotics raid. Maybe we might get you to come with us maybe one day, see how it is. I got one volunteer. So we are confiscating heroin, crack cocaine, fentanyl. So it's sometimes, you know, sometimes it's a race to hit the door. Because when we hit the door, somebody running to the toilet. So sometimes it's a race to try to get in there quickly but safely, and also make confiscations. But we are confiscating. I think a couple months ago, we coordinated with the DEA, we made a traffic stop. And I think we got 10 kilos of cocaine and I think over $100,000 in cash, which was coming from a Mexican cartel. An actual Mexican cartel to the United States. So we were able to make that traffic stop. So we got 10 kilos, which is probably valued at I don't know how many millions, but so we're working hard here at the 11th Precinct. Yes, ma'am.
Just it's on Pinehurst on the west side, they raided the house over there.
That's right.
All that drugs they had in the house on Pinehurst over there. Fentanyl, like the gentleman said, that $150,000. That's the last week on the news. They raided this house on the west side.
Yeah, so it's unfortunately, drugs is.
out here.
Unfortunately, drugs is a part of the reality in which we live in here in America. It generates so many billions and trillions of dollars. It affects us all, whether, you know, somebody here or somebody in your family or somebody you know, it affects you because it's being sold in the neighborhoods in which you live. So you're affected by whether you use it or not. And so the only recourse are the laws, and that's where we come in. So I can guarantee you, we're doing our best to address all of these locations. So if you have one on your street, please contact us and let us know. We will be knocking at their door. So that's pretty much all I have for my presentation. Unless anybody else got anything.
A lot of the drug houses, they come in and take those drugs out of that. They don't belong to anybody down there, they belong to people out there in Bluefield Hill and Trumbull Hill. That's what you guys need to go get the head people out there. That's what they got. They can stand there, they had a powder, guess who owned that mess? He lived out there from here, Bluefield Hill. So how you guys get the real person that really got these black youth down here selling these drugs? Now he had this was a stash house, but he was living out there in Trumbull Hill. His house was a stash, but he kept all the drugs in Detroit, and he lived in the suburbs.
And that's where the community is important, because in the community, you're coming and going day in, day out of your homes. You see things that are happening.
Yeah.
Sometimes police, we're ripping and running everywhere, but you see things on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
And you are our eyes and ears. That's why we're our team. We work together. So please let us know if you see something like that that's out of place. And we do have a narcotics unit. We still have a narcotics unit. It's called Major Violators. They are actually in the rear, just, you know, so, they are actually out there. They're the ones that actually are responsible for raiding and following up on narcotics investigations. I just increased it because they're raiding, and with my team, we're raiding. Number 11 is getting a double dose of it. So, that's my commitment to you. Yes, sir.
Online question.
We got two. KR go first. Where,
Hi, I had two, questions, comments. The first one is regarding I'm assuming it was a raid that, transpired, and wanted to know if we can find out as neighbors, what actually happened. Because one day I just pulled up to my driveway and about 10 cars came on the block. We're on a one-way street, so they were coming from all places. They came out with guns drawn and went to a house, maybe about 4 doors down. And bust open the door and said search warrant, and they brought somebody out. But it's like this person is like, what happened? You never see anything going on there. So how can we find out what actually happened on our block? That's the one question. Second, one is cars that are on private property that are abandoned, that are partially torn apart, and it just keeps accumulating. They'll bring one and they'll bring another one. How do we get that looked at or taken care of? Because they're becoming a nuisance, and their rodents we're starting to see, rodents come into the neighborhood, and we never used to have that until we started having this neighbor having cars in their driveway and garage. I'm sorry, not garage, in their rear. There's no garage. So it's in the driveway, and in the back, they're accumulating vehicles, and they don't move. So those are the questions.
Okay, so, I'm gonna give you this telephone number. Let me know when you're ready to copy.
Okay, I'm ready.
313
3
596
596.
1118.
Okay, I've got that number.
Did you get it? 596-1118.
I've had that number for years. Every time I call that number, they say we can't do anything because
Okay,
it's on private property.
so that's the number to Sergeant Spruce.
Tell them to call me 7 at night.
Call him at 7 p.m., but I'm gonna, so for that specific location, we'd have to get the address and then we can look it up and then we may be able to provide you some information. We may not be able to go into detail, but we may be able to provide you some information, relative to why the police, were at this residence down the street from your home. The second thing is, the city has launched an abandoned vehicle task force. And it's a citywide task force, and it's to address the abandoned vehicles, boats, and those vehicles that people stockpile on their property.
Thank you.
There's a little bit different process for the vehicles that are on private property because the Constitution comes into play. So the police can't just arbitrarily come onto your property,
Right.
onto your land or your property and take a vehicle. So there's a blight process, so we have to approach it from that process. So we have to make these vehicles as blight, so they're blight, and then once they're tagged as blight, then that starts the court proceeding. And then from there, the next steps, then we can eventually tow it. So it's not an immediate
Due process.
So does that make sense
Yes.
to everyone?
Due
Did I
process.
answer your question online?
Yes, it did for both.
Okay.
But I wanted to also, there's I don't know the address right offhand, but it's the corner house. It's on Sherwood, just north of,
You could call, do us a favor, call us and give us that, location.
okay. But
Please,
this is-
please call.
And we will get out and handle it, ma'am. I promise you. I
All
promise
right.
you that.
Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.
We got, Georgia Jenkins on here, and then that's it for online.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I
Good
just got
evening.
a quick question about the tires, and I thank you for the presentation. It was very good. But what is the policy for all these tire places that we seem to have popped up around us? Are they licensed? Do we track them? Do we know how they're disposing of these tires? If
They
you
are
can answer that.
licensed. They are licensed. They have to go through this, KMAC, through the city's offices that grants, licensing. As far as the disposal, they know the proper way that they're supposed to dispose of those. I'm gonna let MPO D-Rob chime in.
So as far as the licensing, every year, commercial auto theft, as well as, a business licensing, go around and we check and verify everybody's license. So maybe sometimes throughout the summer, you guys may see like orange or yellow placards on some of these buildings. That's because they were out of compliance. So we do check them every year. If they're out of compliance, then, there's opportunity for them to be shut down until they come into compliance. As well, as far as disposal, most good businesses do things the right way. And so, they dispose of, a lot of these places do dispose of their tires, properly.
Mm.
A lot of them do because, some of the things that's made from these tires, some of them, I believe, sell these tires to make, like some of the playgrounds and other things like that they use the tires for.
Okay.
So there's some good things that come out of the tires. But, I know there's some people point fingers at some of these places a lot, but I can assure you that we check these places, and this is not a good thing for this tire company to go out and dispose a bunch of tires, especially right up the street or right around the corner from where that company is. Doesn't make sense. So we just hope that you guys can let us know when you see somebody dumping, call 911, and then we can actually catch the person that's actually doing it. We catch them in progress, and we can take care of them from there.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Are there any other questions? You have time?
Yes,
Oh.
go ahead. I
Yes,
was in 2019, in the 2019, to 2022, this would have been around, because I watched where somebody was putting up to this house that they were working on in like 35 minutes, heavy drugs. That's what I did. I filmed it, and the guy, while he was working on the house, he was nodding about to fall over. So I believe that the drugs in there, trying to capture it up. So, and I looked, kept pulling up like every 5 minutes. And I know it was drugs. Like I said, the guy was nodding, I think about the fall, and I got people to know.
Hey, if you see that type of short stay, we call short stay, brief activity, where people are coming in 5 minutes and they back out, that's usually indicative of, there's.
But I haven't seen the guy since then. I don't know if he did or what, but.
So if you see that, please let us know. Please let us know. Yes, ma'am.
Probably a statement. There was a house on our street one time that kept having issues. You guys sent around a note to all the neighbors saying that if it happened again, they were gonna lose their homes. What happened to that? Why isn't that not in effect?
Talk about nuisance.
About nuisance abatement.
Huh?
You talking about nuisance abatement with the drug houses? Yeah, that was,
Sent around to all the neighbors, because all the neighbors was like, wow, you guys did that, no, you did that Well, saying that that person on that corner is gonna do
Now,
something.
that was a program that we did in conjunction with the prosecutor's office. And the nuisance abatements have to go through the prosecutor's office. I don't know if they got less people or pandemic, whatever. You know, after the pandemic, it changed a whole lot of things. Some programs that they had prior to it, they don't have them anymore. I don't know if it's manpower. I don't know if it's a manpower issue or what, but we haven't did many of those lately.
What year was that now?
It was in the nineties.
Okay.
It's in the nineties.
We had some.
We actually still
We still.
still use that, if we have, like, we use it for businesses as well as some, places like that. But like Sarah said, it's, it's a lot of work to put it and then get somebody to push it and things like that, but there's still an opportunity that we can take those actions against those locations. Yep.
As on 7 Mile, this particular area was a drug place. And they were using it as a cover up for something else. And it got raided 4 times. And that last time you guys shut it down, or someone shut it down. They were dressed in like SWAT outfits, and it was shut down. It has been open since, but they moved it somewhere else.
Was it the barber shop?
Yep.
Yeah.
They moved it somewhere else.
Yeah, I
I
was-
seen it, you gotta go up.
Yeah, that was-
Something wrong.
So, yeah.
You gotta go see.
So that, what you're talking about, it was a couple pieces to that, and that's we worked with, Michigan State Police. When we took care of that, it was a lot of moving pieces and a lot of cooperation from other agencies, so, but we need you guys to tell us about things. Y'all the eyes and ears, right? Y'all know all the business in your hood, right?
You don't know, who knows?
Did you have a question?
About the cars in the yard, should we call the blight inspectors or should we call them, you know?
They can try to blind
You
it.
can call us, but the task force, I don't have the number handy. Like you said, the mayor started a new task force that's gonna empower us to take them off of, the private property now. I mean, we can't just come up with a tow truck, we've got a process we have to go. So we gotta go there like 3 times after we tag them and let them, and we notify them that, there's a problem. And then we go under the nuisance abatement on 4th time, if they have, we have to go to court on each one of those times. And when we come back, if they still haven't taken care of it, now we're allowed to go and take it off the private property. So this new task force is going on, he plans on cleaning up a whole lot of that.
Well, that's gonna happen.
It started already.
Oh, okay.
It started already.
You saw those pictures? Captain just put together a slide for you guys.
That was only a snippet of the amount of work, that the men and women have been doing here. I didn't
And
want
they're
to,
doing it citywide.
yeah, I didn't want to take over the whole.
Citywide.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
This question is for the Sergeant Spruce. Sergeant, I'm not familiar with the nuisance and
Nuisance abatement.
program.
That's a law.
Can you explain that program
Sure.
to, Sergeant, if you could, please?
There's a law in the book, house, say it's a house bill, they got prostitution, gambling, drugs, or whatever. And it's a negative impact on the neighborhood. So it used to be under the old nuisance abatement, after it was raided 3 times, they would file papers with the prosecutor's office, and those papers would, seek to, take that property away from the legal owner. Because they're allowing all of this drugs or whatever to, be done in the property. So at the height of that, in the late 90s and the early 2000s, the city was taking, I should say the county, because it goes through courts. They were seizing a lot of people's property, and they were using it under, it's a law in the books called a nuisance abatement act. And so that's how they were able to seize their property. People would have to come back to court, they would have to pay large fines, some of them couldn't afford the process, and then okay. And some of them couldn't afford the long drawn out court thing, and that property reverted to the county. So there's an act on the book saying that you can't be a nuisance in the neighborhood.
So is that program back right now in 2024?
The law is still on the books now. I don't know how well it's being enforced in the late twenties. I don't know how much has been enforced, but it is still on the books.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Because
Yeah, I will Thursday when I see the chief.
We actually use that to close a couple of these, vape shops and things like that. So that has been used recently, against some of these businesses, just so you guys know.
Yes, sir. Come on the streets now. You guys.
Yeah, once
They
we,
parked on the street.
yeah, once we tag them, we give them 48 hours.
Okay, you guys came out there and take, I think, officer, did you come on now, clean and take those cars? Okay, he tagged them on the side. Here's what the guy did. He moved it to the front, with the flag. Now he got a flag. He was on the side, you was on the side. Now he moved it to the front. Is that Remington? Yeah, Remington. He done moved to the side and took the tag off that y'all put on there and it called the flag.
Where's that at?
Remington and Clinton and Remington.
Right at the corner?
Yes, he moved the car, y'all came out there, tagged the car, what you talking about? Like a bus or whatever it was, with the car, y'all take it. Now, the bus was that, whatever you call it thing, it's gone, but the car, he put it on the front, took the tag off, put it on the front, and still on the flat, on the front.
And it's sitting in
Sitting
front of the house
Yeah,
on
it's
Klinger?
on the house, clean it, Remington, you see it,
Okay.
and then the one in my block, further down, y'all put tag on his. He took the tag off, the flat still on that.
Where's that car sitting? What's the address that car sitting in
I
front
know
of?
it's in the middle of the block, you see it, you come down the street,
On Klinger between Remington and,
Winchester,
what color is it?
black,
Black,
Yeah.
you know what kind it is?
The one that's on the corner is the Dodge Vet.
Dodge bag.
Yeah.
And-
One of my block is like, what you call that? It's, you see it,
It's
it's on the
black.
flat,
Okay,
and he done took the tag off of it, but he left the flat there.
we'll be,
He told the tag, hey, he didn't take, he just slipped there, I guess he get mad, then it's on the flat.
we'll be back out there, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you take, which means, I don't think means anything, but when you take the tags off of the car,
It doesn't mean
so
anything.
what? You take the tag off the car. I'm still gonna tow it if it's
Yeah, that doesn't mean
okay.
anything.
I just think
Just, it's identifying it and letting you know that the police are noticing it.
That's right,
We have
yeah.
48 hours
Okay.
to have this vehicle move, and then we'll come back around and then we'll tow it.
Come back around, he moved it to the front on the flat.
Let me give you guys the phone number to the A-Band Task Force.
Okay.
Task Force is working citywide.
Yeah,
You see stuff like that, you can call them also. They'll send some more of those task force members out to get it.
okay.
Anyway, the phone number is gonna be 313-596-2882. I'm gonna repeat it. That phone number is 313-596-2882. That's the abandoned car task force.
And anybody else have any more questions?
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
in some of the areas, everybody don't have driveways to put their car in, and you got people who drive through there like fools and they hit your car. So that's why they park up on the side of that, especially if they got lots with it. So people drive down there, they run stop sign, my car been hit twice.
What street you on, ma'am? Phil,
I got, my car was hit on Loose and Finland. The guy coming down, he seen me, I stopped, and when I was pulling off, he didn't stop at stop sign. That's why I said they need to have a camera right there, Loose and Finland, but they run those stop signs.
Okay.
You did the bump?
Huh? No, that Finland and Loose.
The bump.
Now, the Finland, they do not stop. They go right through.
So that's another part of my questions, traffic enforcement. So we are addressing those areas.
Not at the stop sign.
Please.
So we'll take note of that, ma'am. Finland and Loose, to dispatch.
Stop signs all the time.
Okay. I'll have the traffic officers out there. Anybody else have any more questions? Yes, ma'am.
I got a question about the mopeds. It's a guy across the street, he got like 3 mopeds. He starts like at 3 o'clock, all the way about 10, 11 o'clock. I wanna know, what about the mopeds? Do they have to have license? Or
And you know the address to that place, man, that across the street from
they
you?
across the street from me?
What's your, what street is it?
Passy.
What's the cross street?
between Nancy and 6 Mile.
So ma'am, after the meeting, if you have, your complaints, we'll be taking notes. So if you have something that's across the street, in front of your house, next door to your house, we'll take those after the meeting. Okay.
But those mopeds they're not, in accordance with the motor vehicle code, state law. They're not supposed to be on the roadway. But what happens is when we try to pursue them, it puts them at risk. And so even though they're breaking the law, it's still the police job is to protect lives and property. So even though we know they're a nuisance, we can't pursue them, because it can put them, we could end up running them over, they can end up running from us into a tree or into a car, but they are not street legal. So as often as we can catch one of them in a safe manner, we do ticket and tow.
And if you know where they hang out at, and y'all tell us where they're at, like where they park the bikes, fix them.
Going down, up and down Nance. They go all around Nance and they come all the way back up 6 Mile.
Okay.
They put out the full force yesterday down the van. I'm surprised not, it had to be 150 of them yesterday. Easy, coming down the van. Easy. I watched every last one of them. They were off the hook. If I had my car, I'd jumped in there so fast that I'd have been out of. It was crazy. You think the weather's not even really warm.
Well, if you see them, call us. If you can get a description, if the bike is purple, if you know, if you get a
That's a
description.
small, okay.
Little
Some
small.
larger moped. But see, I'm looking out for, because kids be on me. We got like ones about 11, 12 years old.
They the ones,
So
right?
you going up and down the street, can't nobody see you on the little road.
Yeah,
Actually, those are mini bikes. Those are actually mini bikes. Mopeds, you can actually get a license. Because they have,
Small.
yeah, those called mini bikes.
Okay, mini bikes.
Those are not street.
Okay.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
But this will be our last question and we gotta move on a little bit.
I have a question about the deceased young man that you guys found on Rockwood. Where exactly was that location?
Yeah, I wanted to know, it was,
One in the house.
this morning.
One outside the house.
He was found in the field this morning. It was like, the address, I think it was like 80, 81 Robinwood.
Rockwood, what's the other side street?
I don't know that.
Near 7 Mile, Van Dyke.
Yeah, it's near, in that area that, Van Dyke, that little pocket right there, Van Dyke, 7 Mile, where that Citgo gas station is, in that little, pocket right in there, unfortunately. So homicide is handling that investigation now.
Okay, good. Are we good? Okay, last one. That's gonna be it. Last one.
Okay, before we ended the holiday, before we ended our meetings, I had asked Officer Spruce a few times about the car that had been sitting in the alley between Marks and DeQuinder, between 7 Mile and Henry. That car had been sitting there for years.
Right.
While we were off on our break, I looked up, because I turned out every day, and I looked to the right, car was gone. I just wanted to thank you.
Thank you. Excellent presentation. Expectations do that every meeting. No? Okay, we're gonna give you guys some dates on events that are coming up, so let's get ready.
Okay.
Our first date is gonna be Saturday, April the 20th. That's gonna be the DEA National Take Back. Saturday, April the 20th, from 10 to 2. You can drop it off here at the station, and we're starting right now. DEA. No. Prescription, yeah, the prescription, no gun. No gun.
Oh, prescriptions that you got your back.
We're gonna start
They
taking
can
them
be
now.
over the counter or they can be prescription drugs. We will get rid of them safely. So we don't want you guys to put them in the water tank.
No,
Don't flush them down the toilet.
right, they're unused, expired, or unwanted medication. That is made for over the counter, that's gonna be Saturday, April the 20th, but we are starting now. Okay? And that's gonna be 10 to 2. Our next event is gonna be, it's called, yes.
What was your,
No liquids, no liquids.
no liquids?
No liquid, no.
No hypodermic needles.
We are taking, vapes.
So the next event is the Draft Fest. And that's the NFL Draft Fest. And they're going all the way around the city until the day of the draft, which will be downtown. And you guys know the draft is that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 25th, 26th, 27th. This event will take place Saturday, April 13th. And they got a ton of stuff. I went to a couple of them so far, and they're really fun. You guys will have a nice time, especially if you have kids. The time is gonna be from 1 to 5. And this is gonna be at the Lasky Recreational Center. Okay? 13200. Finish line of street. I always screw that up. That's April 13th, and that's Saturday. Okay? Next, since we're on the NFL, if anybody wants to participate, because it's a free event, and it's free that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If you want to attend that event, you have to download that NFL One Pass. You get that from your Apple Store or your Google Store, but you download that app. Once you sign up, you're gonna get a QR code on your phone. When you come down there to the event, then they will scan your phone to know that you registered. This, you have to do it. If you don't have it on your phone, then they're gonna send you somewhere to get that QR code. So however you shake it up in a bag, you're gonna need it. So if you got a phone, go ahead, download that one. It'll put you like you wanna bring your grandkids or kids, you get to bring the number of kids that wanna attend. So you can do all that good stuff, and that QR code will let you guys have fun all 3 days.
And it's free.
It is all free.
But
And
you do need the code.
yes, you have to have that NFL One Pass. Okay? Yes. I know a lot of you guys know about that. It's called JAX, the Detroit Air Express. That's the bus that takes you from downtown to the airport. I haven't done it yet. My goal is to try it, but Dr. Moore has gone. It's $6 in advance if you do it online. It's $8 if you do it that day. For seniors, they have a discount for seniors. It's only $4. It runs 365 days out of the year. They have 16 different pickup times. They take you to the McNamara and they take you to the Evans terminal. Okay, so you're not gonna get dropped up at Delta. You're not gonna you're gonna go. These are your 2 terminals you're going to, and then you gotta walk to where you need to go. And then if you become a frequent rider, then of course the pass becomes a little bit cheaper. So right now, like they say, they got 16 times. You can't go wrong. I mean, it's a bus leaving every, it looks like every half an hour they're leaving out. Yes. What's the date did you say for the to download that QR You can download that now. NFL One Pass. Okay. And that's either out of your Google store if you have an Android, or your Apple store if you have an Apple phone. NFL One Pass. Yeah. So I think it's a really, really, I mean,
I usually pay to go down, I'll get a car to take me down there. Now you talking $8 from 108. Let's go do the math. So seems like a very good program, and I'm definitely gonna give it a shot to see how it is before I take my next vacation. Also, our Easter egg, even though it rained, we had a great time. We wind up kind of shifting out a little bit. We had the younger kids in here, we had the bigger kids outside. All together, we came up, the community, just from our last meeting, I collected $60 from you guys. And that was amazing, and I thank you guys so much. We bought eggs, filled eggs, and I bought eggs already filled from all of them. So thank you guys so much. We also had Yonker Norwood Block Club, they donated 50, and then we had Calvary AME, and she did her $25. So we had a great turnout. Baskets, candy full of stuff, so it worked out. So thank you guys so much for doing that for us. Okay.
That was such helpful for Easter.
Yeah.
Thank you myself for that.
Yeah, we appreciated that a lot. So just a reminder, we are doing due from April to April. They're $25 a household. Just a reminder, if you decide to pay them in November, that's fine. But don't think we're not gonna ask again in March, because it goes from March to March. Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay, and Leon is gonna take it from you after he does the raffle. Make sure you get with him, okay? And what we're gonna do, I'm sorry. These are the dues for the 11th Precinct Community Relations Council. So like when they have like the Easter egg hunt, even though we'll ask, but you already gave $25. So if you don't want to do it, you find it then. We're gonna use it towards our events we have. Police Week, Easter egg hunt, Veterans Day, Senior Turkey Bingo. We have so many events that we participate. How many people is it that participate? Oh, well, we have quite a few so far. Yes. Yes. And it's 25 a household. Okay, any other questions? Okay, next, April 21st, it is a Sunday. There is a crime victim prevention walk, okay? That is from 11 to 1, and that is at Say Detroit. Okay?
Save place, sir.
Who is it?
Save place.
Say play? Ain't nobody talking about no play on no end. Okay, now we know. Say play. Okay, let me write that down. Get it right. Say play.
Yeah, say Detroit play. That's good.
It's over on 7 Mile in Van Dyke. You know the big football field that you can get from Van Dyke by America ATM machine? That's it. Cause they got a big sign right there. Yeah, it's a big old sign out there on the grass.
19-3-20 Van.
19-3-20 Van Dyke.
That's that. Right.
Okay, our next one. We have Police Week is next month. Our day for the community will be Thursday, May 16th. I will send out an email on what the plan will be. The plan is to keep it simple. We're gonna start out that way. So I have some things in mind. What I will do is send out an email. I'm not trying to have people because I'm sorry, I'm still in COVID mode. I'm not doing it. So I'm still am trying to get stuff catered, bring in, so everybody trying to bring in something at all different times. That was a headache. So I just kind of want to keep stuff simple. We got a 12 o'clock shift, we have a 6 o'clock shift, and then we have our midnight shift. So I will be here starting probably 9 in the morning till about 1 in the morning, because we got to make sure that our third shift gets fed as well. So that's gonna start, and we do need a couple of volunteers. The midnight shift is not too bad, because I always got Sergeant Spruce right here to hang out with me till 1 o'clock in the morning. So from our noon or the 6 o'clock. We are looking for a couple of volunteers to kick in. I can't accept everybody at noon because then it becomes too chaotic. So I do have to split up between noon and 6 o'clock. Okay?
Can you repeat that all over again, because I missed everything you just said?
No, what? No, I'm just kidding. No, our safety community, our day to feed the officers will be Thursday, May 16th.
Thursday.
Yes, that's the day that we're gonna feed our officers. So I'm trying to do something where it make our life easy. But I just gotta try to see how many people I got on board with my idea. Once I find out, then I will send out an email and kind of let you guys know what's going on. And then you can respond back and say, hey, I can participate in this event or this time, or I can do this shift. But we're only just looking for a couple. We don't need a lot of people. I'm thinking at least 4 per shift will work out great. It'll probably wind up being a little bit more, but it's okay. Because we, may have a few things to do prior to even if we have it catered, okay? Okay. Okay, I speak, okay, you guys got a guy, I can get there and that thing.
They asked, how can you pay your dues?
You can, send a check here to the station. You can put my name on it. And one of the NPOs will call and let me know that there is mail here. I will then pick it up and turn around and give it to Mr. Wire to deposit into the account. Once we have your information, you automatically go into the drawing for a Ring doorbell. And we're gonna do one tonight, raffle off a Ring doorbell for everyone so far that has paid due so far. We're gonna do a Ring doorbell giveaway tonight. Did that answer your question?
I'll be added to the email list.
Say that again, D, I'm sorry.
So can I be,
Added to the email list.
Oh, definitely, yep,
they said yes and thank you.
okay, great. One more thing, when you guys email me regarding issues in your area, please give me as much detail as you can, because I'm getting emails and I'm not forwarding them to no one. Because until the questions are answered, because I know what they're gonna ask. What color, is there a plate, is it this, is it that? So when I come back and ask you those questions, I'm asking because I'm not gonna give them a report. Because they're gonna come back to me and say, well, who gave you this? What is the color? What is the plate? So, and I know what they're looking for. So if I come back to you, I gotta have that information before I turn it in. I'm not gonna turn it in and I can't give them a location. I can't give them a color. I can't give them a plate. I can't give them anything. So why am I going to them? Okay, so the more information you give me, the better it will be. Okay? Any questions out of anything we talked about so far? So now I want to get into, we have a gentleman here from 36th District, Judge Williams. We have Judge Williams, and I think Merlin Martin's online. So I don't know how you guys want to coordinate, but please introduce yourself, and I need you to stand up here at the podium, and between you and Mr. Martin.
Yes, Ms. Jackson, how are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you this evening?
I'm great. I wanted to make sure that Judge Larry Williams was there. He's our presiding traffic judge.
How you doing, Mr. Martin?
Fine, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Yeah, the chief was at our last meeting and we were talking about some traffic issues, so he brought the top guy from our traffic division. Judge Larry Williams is there this evening to address any questions that you guys might have and to give you some information on what he does at the court. Judge?
All right, well, I appreciate you all so much for having me. My name is Larry Williams and I'm a judge at 36th District Court. And right now I serve as the presiding judge of the Traffic and City Ordinance Division. We got about 10 judges out of 30, so that's the biggest division at 36th District Court. We do mostly traffic tickets, but we also do city ordinance violations, including littering tickets in front of the neighborhoods, loitering, loitering in houses that have drugs in them, and things of that nature. I'm also the chief pro tem formerly. I've been a judge 8 years at 36th District Court, and before that, I was about 15 years at the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. I'm here to answer any questions that you have about that division, about 36th District Court in general. Or, Chief said you guys had a lot of questions about 36, about what we do, and I'm happy to answer as best I can. Yes, ma'am?
$1 million question.
Yes.
How many times does an individual come before the court with violations from their driving record and continuously be pat on the hand?
Well, it depends on what you consider a pat on the hand.
Okay, so they moving violations, license been suspended
Okay.
several times. And I do understand that there's a process that when your driver's license is suspended, depends on for what and for how long, you have to go through a process in order to get your license back. Okay, so how many violations can this individual have before he or she license is taken away permanently?
3 moving violations while your license is suspended means that you can't get a license for approximately 3 to 4 years without an appeal.
Okay. So does your department also handle,
We don't take the licenses away. That's the
Okay.
Secretary of State, but if
Okay.
you have 3 or more moving violations while your license is suspended, or you don't have a license, the Secretary of State suspends your license automatically for at least 3 years. If you want your license back, you can petition the Secretary of State, and then there's a process that they have to determine if you're a good person to be driving the car.
okay, so I guess I'm still kind of confused. I got a ticket, I didn't come to court. I got another ticket, and there was, the first ticket, the bench warrant was already out.
Okay.
Okay, so then I didn't show up for that one. So now I got the third ticket. Okay, now I'm back in, because I'm trying to get my driver's license. I'm in front of you.
So
And so what did you,
this is what I'm gonna suggest.
okay,
Have you come to court yet?
have I came to court?
Yes.
The first 2 times, no.
We're gonna talk after this. I'm gonna get you straight.
Okay, because I'm confused.
I'm gonna get you straight.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions? I'm opening this up. Ask anything. If I can answer it, I will.
You know, when you take the license, then you still drive anyway.
That's what they do. You know what?
What you gotta do about that when you take the license? And they're saying, and then you drive anyway.
You just
Well,
said
a lot of them run when the police try to stop them, they run.
They don't have a license, but here's the thing. Driving while license suspended, the maximum penalty is up to 93 days in custody. 93 days is the standard for a misdemeanor. You get locked up. If somebody's actually given 93 days in jail for a traffic ticket, they're probably not going to serve 93 days because the jail can only hold so many people. And we all know in this town, priority goes to the dangerous stuff. So what winds up happening is they're already back,
They know
in
that.
the same position.
They know that.
Now, the problem is that we have so many people in our city who don't have licenses, who don't have insurance.
Don't have insurance.
And, what that also means is there's so many people who can't get a job. Because a lot of the jobs around here, especially the factories they building, they need you to have a driver's license, not an ID, not a city ID card. They want you to have a driver's license. And this kind of creates this cycle that goes, over and over again. I take your license away, or the Secretary of State takes your license away. And, maybe you did something dumb one year, but the next year you're trying to resolve this. You're trying to pay these tickets, you're trying to be back on the road, you're trying to get a job, and you can't. And that's what, one of the things that we're working on is, as we talked about earlier, collaboration between the police, between the Secretary of State, the prosecutor's office. all getting on the second page to make this make sense for everybody. Yeah, I totally agree, and I see where you're coming from there. No insurance, no license.
You
It's,
can't call without no insurance, is that a fine?
well, it could be, but it's also a misdemeanor. And it has a maximum penalty of up to $500 or 6 months in jail.
And you would have your car.
Have your car. I'm gonna ask yours, but this lady right behind you. I'm gonna ask you right after this. Ma'am, you got a question?
Yes, how many times can a person have a seizure at the wheel and have 3 accidents before they actually take their license?
That I can't tell you. That comes from the Secretary of State, and they make that determination who can have a license and who can't. I've got a lot of folks in my family who suffer from seizures. They don't drive. Especially if they happen regularly, and it's just not safe. You know, there have been situations where I know folks were on medication and it does not happen to the point where it's dangerous, and that's okay, but you know, there's gotta be some self-understanding of what you can and what you can't do.
Right.
You know, if you're, past the point where you should be behind the wheel, then step back, don't go on the wheel. And if you can't, then we'll deal with it.
Okay, this person is on medication and they're always on, they're gonna be on medication for the rest of their life. They're a man. How do you keep a man from doing, what he ain't supposed to do? I don't know.
Well, you're not supposed to be driving, you can always petition the Secretary of State to let them know when somebody shouldn't be on the road. A lot of folks do it when they're members of their family that, they know they shouldn't be able to drive, and the Secretary of State gave them a license. That's not in my area, but I know that it happens, so I'm gonna give you that information.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, one more.
Yes.
Okay, now, I came to your court. And I done got all my tickets cleared up. My moving violations.
This is a hypothetical.
Yes, okay, but what is the court, what is the courts doing about our overpriced and high price insurance? What is our penalty when, for whatever reason, my insurance has lapsed for, say, non-payment, if you want to say? Okay, but because this insurance in the city of Detroit, in my neighborhood where I live, is just out of control. They just went up on my new renewal just last week, this week.
Yes.
Okay, so what is, do the courts say anything, or put in some of the issues that they have?
So
to people in Lansing about this high insurance?
yes,
These folks tearing our cars up?
I've made comments to state representatives, to senators, commenting on not only our high insurance, and it's high for everybody in Detroit. Every neighborhood in Detroit, and people in Michigan talk about how high insurance is. But you all know down here is more. It's more for everybody. Yeah. My wife's from Ohio. When she first had to start paying insurance down here, shocked.
She had a heart attack.
Had a heart attack. It's absolutely insane. As far as the court, I can't do anything as far as if you get the ticket for this. I hear the facts of the case, and if I had enough information to convict you, then that's what I'll do. If a jury does, and they'll convict you. If they don't, then they'll find you not guilty.
Help me out, cause my can't afford my insurance.
Listen to what I have to say.
Okay.
So now, as far as a penalty, now I do have some discretion.
Okay.
Because I know sometimes we get these tickets and the fine is so high, how can I expect anybody to get insurance if I fine you $500?
Right.
What does that mean? What does that do? So I will work with folks when they don't have the money. That's not my problem. I want you to come in here and get this adjudicated, whether it's gonna be dismissed, whether you're gonna be not guilty, whether you're gonna be guilty. Come into court. We'll figure out the other part. And if the fine is too high, you tell the judge and then we figure that out. Because the fine is not, it's not defined necessarily for some of the cases. Insurance in particular, the fine is not defined. So if you're found guilty or you plead guilty, there's other things that we can do. Sometimes judges waive the fine, sometimes they get community service. Sometimes they say, you know what, I'm gonna hold this sentence for a minute. I'm gonna let you try to get insurance. You come back to me, then I'll do something. There are a lot of different things that judges can do. You just gotta say something. You know, tell us about your situation, tell us what, what you can do and what you can't. And I find that most folks and most of my judges will work with you. But the main thing is, get those warrants off, come down to court, and get this stuff taken care of, so I can get a license in your hands. And that's what we want.
So the
You
worst
mean
thing to
judge.
do is not to show up.
That's the absolute worst thing to do, because you're gonna get late penalties, you're gonna get warrant costs, you're gonna get all those things that I can't get rid of. If you show up to court and say, hey, judge, I messed up, this is after you're convicted, because you're not guilty until, proven so. But if you get to the point where you are, hey, judge, I messed up, but I can't do this right now. Or I've got an appointment with the Secretary of State, I'm going through this process, that process, to get a license. I'll work with you. And we all will, but you gotta come to court. Yes, ma'am.
What if there's a situation where there's a homeless person, they don't have any license, birth certificate, any form of type of ID? How do they get, reestablished back into the?
We have a program at 36th District Court, Street Democracy. I've been a part of this 7 years now. Started by Judge Cynthia Miller, who's now at the Circuit Court, which mainly deals with our unstable housing population. Folks who maybe don't have those credentials to not only just pay tickets, but just to get a court date and get through court. And what we do is we work with a couple of soup kitchens, a couple of local providers all throughout the city. So no matter where you're at, there's a spot that's close that we can get your tickets together and we'll work on it. What winds up usually happens is you go through this program, which includes some things about driver restoration, some things about job training. We have our hearings at Capuchin, and then we get you back on your feet. You go to streetdemocracy.org. There's some information about the program on the website, and that's something that we use for folks with unstable housings. And quite honestly, now we're working with Michigan Jobs Task Force. They're one of our providers. So we're working with folks trying to get jobs too. So, that's another reason to come to this court, not just if you're unstably housed.
So returning citizen and all that.
Yes, anybody that doesn't, come on through.
Thank you.
What happened with insurance? Was that the mayor or the governor that if you got insurance, you don't have to accept it from the insurance company? That will know your insurance.
I know. Work for all of 6 months.
No, it does not. You gotta renew it every year, every time you renew your insurance, you have to renew that.
That's what I said. First 6 months was great, but then after that,
Insurance company got pissed off.
Every time. You have to do it every time.
it's still high.
Well, it's high, but it's better than what it was.
You're absolutely right about that.
What happened was they put it back to what it used to be, even with it. So if you don't have it, it's gonna be extremely higher.
You got-
Because it's
you gotta
extremely
sign-
high now.
Sign your form, like even with the,
You have to get a letter from your healthcare provider saying that you have health benefit. You talking about that.
You have
But I just renewed.
the Medicare card, or what do you
People don't understand. And they drop the PI, I think it's the PIP part.
You gotta have.
I'm sorry, I got a question in the back. Excuse me.
I have a question. What if you had a warrant and you took care of the warrant, but you still, they booked you, fingerprinted, you went in, taking care of it. And then let's say a couple months later, you got a ticket in another city and you had to go to court to pay for it. Can a judge bring your past history up in front of everyone? Let's say you have it 7 years ago. Because it's on your record, he has the right to bring it up in front of everyone.
So in most cases, the judge is gonna see your history, especially in a traffic situation. They're gonna see exactly what you come from. After a certain amount of time, the information is removed from the public part of the database, but never from the law enforcement part. So they always have that information unless it's expunged. And, you know, Detroit, we're lucky because we have Project Clean Slate that will work with you to get your record expunged. And that's not just for, you know, the felony matters. It's for the misdemeanor matters that you might have pled to on a traffic ticket. You know, say you pled to a driving while license suspended and you want this off of your record. After 3 years, you can petition the court to have that that plea set aside and the record removed. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is what is the rate, the payment rate for speeding? If I'm doing 50 and a 30, if I'm doing 70 and a 30.
So if I can do this.
80 and a 70. 80 and a 70.
So the speeding tickets are what we call civil infractions.
Okay.
Technically not criminal cases. You can't go to jail for it. But you're gonna get a fine, and that fine is statutorily mandated. So those are the things that we can't really mess with, but you know, they're already set in stone. 1 to 5 over the speed limit is $125. 6 to 10 is $135. 15 to 20 is $150. 31 plus is $180. After that, they become careless. What you want to do though, that's not what you want to do. You know, because the worst part of that is the points.
Yes.
You know, the $125 is one thing, but how much is that gonna raise your insurance? Right? I suggest anytime you get a traffic ticket, you sign up to go to court, whether you have to or not.
Yes.
Negotiate, talk to an attorney. We have house counsel, we have attorneys for every case that comes down to 36th District Court. It does not matter if you can afford one or not. Talk to somebody about what the offer is, what your consequences are for these tickets. Even if you just want to pay and get this over with, set the court date. Find out what you're pleading to, what you're paying for, and you'll probably get it reduced. You know, because they want to make sure that people show up, they take care of all of their business, and you know, 9 times out of 10, they just want to make sure that you won't do it again. So please come to court.
Okay, even with coming to court, you say call and make an appointment on the number that's on the back of the ticket. Do them people answer the phone on a daily basis?
They do. Sometimes you're gonna wait though.
And then, okay, and I'm saying that because I've had opportunity to try to help someone to, that received the ticket to call and make that appointment. Somebody pick up the phone, I guess they ain't working that day, they hang up.
Well, I would tell you this. I'm not gonna lie to you about our wait times in the calls.
Okay,
They are very, very long.
okay,
Very, very long. And you know what? You know, the mayor wants to increase the budget for operating here. We can get more folks on those phones happily because, you know, this is a problem citywide. But what we have done to help speed that up, we've done online chat, so you can chat with somebody online to set up court dates. Also, our response time when you come in, you don't wait more than 10 minutes to set up that court date.
okay, cause all my little senior friends, they ain't computer savvy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They treat them older people bad. So they got somebody like me who still ain't computer savvy. I'm on the side with them. Who be trying to make the phone call and get their court dates to do what they handle their business, you know. But
I would
when I see
say
it,
be patient on the time, if you're gonna have to call, the best thing you can do, and this is, you know.
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying to wait for them to pick up. They pick up and hang up. That's my point. That's my thing. They'll say, hello, click.
That's, you know,
Okay, all right.
that's something we can talk about.
Okay, thank you. I'm done.
Yes, ma'am.
With tagging these cars up on the lots, I have a neighbor that's a senior, she's in her 80s. She's not driving anymore, but her daughter drives her car off and on. She said she went to court on Zoom. They let everybody go without her, and she had to pay $310, and she's on Social Security. That's not right.
Oh, that's not right.
They didn't even let her make a payment arrangement. Then she was the only one They had to pay right then. That's not right.
Well, I wish
In her eighties.
I wish I could give you more information. I can't tell you, why that happened. I don't know whether it was, who was it in front of. I'm sure there's a recording of the incident. But, you know, we can talk afterwards. If you have some more information to share, I'll look into it.
Did you say her car was on the lot?
On her lot.
Okay, that
Like
might
I
not,
said, but her,
that might not have went to a traffic.
she had to go to court.
You know what I'm saying? She'd have to go to court, but it may not have been through the traffic division. She might have had to go to the, Court of Administrative Hearings or something.
I'll look it up for you. I mean, I'm happy to. You know, if it's something we can do, we'll do it.
She's retired. She can't drive anymore. She's tired driving. And it was on her own private lot. Hey,
I'm also the training judge, so, you know, this is important to me. So if you got any information like that, please let me know and, you know, we'll try to address it.
We done burned 2 years off tonight.
You know, I wish I could say that.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Jackson, if I can say a word?
Okay, Mr. Martin.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Judge Williams for coming this evening. The takeaway I think should be for this evening is the only way to absolutely ensure a bad result is not to show up. We have judges there willing to work with you and programs that you can get involved in to help you in your situation. Each individual case is just that, an individual case. You can't lump everybody together. There are different circumstances that require different results. So the chief always says to show up, and we got a better chance of helping you get yourself together. Once again, I thank Judge Williams for taking time out of his schedule to come tonight. And we will be bringing judges like we try to do every month to answer questions like this that you guys may have. If you have any questions outside of this that you need attention, you can call me. My name is Merlin Martin. I'm in the Chief's office at 36th District Court. My phone number is 313-965-8738. Once again, it's 313-965-8738. I'll give you my email address as well. It's my name, Merlin, capital MERLIN, .Martin, MARTIN, at 36th districtcourt.org. And you can always contact Ms. Jackson, and she can contact me directly if you have anything, any questions or any matters that you need to be addressed. So once again, I thank you guys for welcoming us to the meetings each month, and we'll be here in support of 11th Precinct.
Always appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna remember your name. Diane. Oh, yeah. Did I get it right? You just shut the front door. You're with the, okay, are you as an attorney? That's exactly right.
Well, you can't beat that reception. Thank you so much.
I'm excited that I remembered your name.
Hi, everybody. So it's been a while since I've been to these sessions. I'm sorry, I had a bit of busy fall, but I'm back. If I haven't spoken to you before, I am at the U.S. Attorney's Office. I'm a federal prosecutor, but I'm also a Detroit resident. I live in the 7th Precinct, but not too far from here. So I always learn stuff when I come to these meetings as well. It's great to see you all. A couple of things you probably saw in the news. The murder rate last year was the lowest it's been since the 60s. And my office and the U.S. Attorney Don Eisen, who grew up in the 11th Precinct and came last year to speak. She took that very seriously, and we've been working in partnership. So it's not my office, it's not DPD, it's everybody working together. And hopefully we can continue to work on that. We also, this is coming up in June, so it's a few months away.
but this is the third time we're gonna do this. We have a couple of, it's an event on Saturdays, one within the Heilman Recreational Center. And I have flyers for you if you want, I can leave them at the back. It's called Peacenik, and we have, it's like a 1 day, almost like a carnival. We have folks come from, last year we had folks from the Detroit Pistons. We also have food on site. We have information for people in the community. We have clothing fairs. So it's just sort of like a nice fun Saturday where folks can get together and meet with law enforcement and share our combined goal of peace and trying to drive down violence in the community. So the dates are June 15th, and we get my other flyers.
I think it's June 29th.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it always seems like we have rain on these days, so so this year we planned ahead and we have the selected dates and the rain dates, and that I won't give you too much information. So the one at Heilman is on June 15th, and then the one at O'Hare Park is on June 29th, and then the alternative rain dates are on the flyers. But I'll be back next month and I'll bring more flyers, but I'll have these if you'd like. Are there any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I would just like to say, that event was, well, accepted, with the community, even though we got poured on, we didn't get rained on.
Yeah.
And it was over half of the afternoon that it finally cleared up, but we slashed in water much of the day. In fact, I had an opportunity to go both days or both weekends, the one at Heidelman and the one that was at over on the west side. So I had opportunity. So it's very nice. A lot of information, a lot of vendors were there from different areas and organizations. They even had people there that brought baskets and baskets of clothes for people who were in need. So it's a real good and nice event.
And the food was good.
Oh, the food was delicious.
So thank you very much, and I'll see you next month.
Yeah.
Next we have, is it D-Win? Yes, it's D-Win. Come on up. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Miss T, and I am from Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network. How many of you know Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network? Besides me, Rob, this young lady, the judge, the officers, the community liaison. So we just want you to know that Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network is very much part of the community in Detroit and Wayne County. We provide oversight of all of the behavioral health organizations throughout the city and the county. And so if you are ever in any need, anyone in your family, friends, neighbors, any need of any other services, we are here for you. We are going to leave some flyers or brochures that identify specifically our community-based mobile crisis response team. This is most important because like Captain said and some of the others said, you are the voices of the community. So D-Win, of course, can't be everywhere at all times to provide services, but if you know of anyone who's in need of any services, you can give us a call, 1-800 number, which is on the back of this flyer, and it is 800-241-4949. And it is a number that is operable 24/7, and let them know, whoever the agent or crisis clinician is, that we need a mobile team in our community, and we will be there. Right now, the mobile crisis team is not in operation 24/7, but it is in operation 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
So you do have the opportunity to call each and every day and someone will come out during those times. We also have a very, very close partnership with the city of Detroit and Detroit Police Department, where we have co-response, which is, we have behavioral health specialists that ride along with the officers. And they are also crisis intervention team trained officers. So you do have that available in your community 24/7. And so we just want you to know that we are very much a part of the community. And so if you have anyone that is in need of our services, please don't reach out to call us. And then this is one of my team members, Chris, and he's gonna share a little bit more about what our relationship is with DPD.
How's everybody doing?
Okay.
Good. So DPD and DWIN came together and partnered the Hot Detroit Homeless Outreach Team. And what that partnership entails is engaging the population within the community that may be unsheltered. A sheltered population may be a number of reasons why they may be unsheltered, maybe mental health reasons, maybe just an unfortunate circumstances of incidents that may have happened that led them in this situation. So what we've been doing for the past few months is coming together with community meetings like this, going to community centers and understanding what services each agency is providing. Sometimes an agency may be doing a particular program for a year or two. They may stop and it may not be going on. There may be a new agency that picked up a program and then it's continuing work. So what we've done is just continue to just stay connected with the services that the agencies are providing and to keep people informed of what's going on and to keep people connected to these resources. And also to help transport if needed. If somebody needs transportation from shelter, they need to go to a substance abuse rehabilitation center, just connecting them with the resources. We could partner with Salvation Army, Forgotten Harvest, and just making sure that these services are just brought together so that the people who are unsheltered are just not forgotten and swept away in the streets.
So what if you find out that there's someone that is homeless? Because you got a call. If they refuse to go to you, what then? What you got to do? Just don't help them at all. Do anything.
Yeah, we can sell it like a used car salesman and try to convince them. And that's one of the biggest things is just having empathy and consistency. Because today they may not want services. That doesn't mean I don't want services forever. It may rain tomorrow and they're like, oh, I'm tired of this. The day after they may have a change of heart. And it's just being consistent, you know, just like substance abuse issues. They may be clean for a couple months. They may relapse. That doesn't mean that they just gave up. They just had a situation that happened, but you just keep trying. You keep working on it. And that's one thing about mental health, especially within the Black community. A lot of it is fairly new. We don't have generations where we could use that excuse of mental health and not being able to go to work or not being able to take care of home. We still have to get up and move regardless of our mental health status. So with that, we still bring the empathy of being empathetic enough to continue to encourage, continue to motivate. Because just because somebody said it once doesn't mean that's their mindset and it's set in stone. It's just having that empathy to just, you know, to continue to follow, continue to check on your loved ones. And mental health isn't just somebody who's schizophrenic. Mental health can deal with a child or it can deal with an adult. As you age and get older, you may go through trauma, you may go through heartaches, and so the stress of it all can wear on you. So people just need, you know, to strengthen their emotional needs, their mental health needs. It's just an array of things.
And we out, just like Captain said, you can call 911. Like I said, we have a very close partnership, so they are very familiar with our mobile crisis team. They are very familiar with the COVID team that DPD has. So you can just call 911 if you can't remember our numbers and say, I need DWIN, they already know what that means. And we will definitely come. If, just like Chris said, same thing for someone who may be in a mental health crisis. We don't force people, but we try to motivate and encourage them. We can continue to follow up. That's one good thing about this initiative. And with our co-response teams, we can follow up
as much as the family or friend would like us to, we can do that.
Y'all like our banner?
Yeah.
Y'all know that song, right? It's a will.
Great information. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You send them flyers on the-
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, it's on and now.
Yay. I'm gonna patch it up with the drive. Okay. How's everybody doing this evening? It feels so good to be here in person with y'all. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kayana Sessoms. I'm the District 3 Manager for the Department of Neighborhoods. And this is Ezra. He's the miniature deputy on training with our department. Some of you may be familiar with him, some of you may not. But he is the joy of the district as well. I have some great announcements that I just want to share with you all. We are in spring, which means that a couple of our initiatives through the Department of Neighborhoods are kicking off. So I want to make sure you guys are aware, you have registered and have that information as well. So the first thing I want to share with you all is about Motor City Makeover. How many of you have participated in Motor City Makeover in the past? Okay, so a strong majority of you all in this room. Wonderful. So our date that we have scheduled for Motor City Makeover is the first week in May, Saturday, May 4th. That is our scheduled date that we have for the for District 3. It's actually District 1, 2, and 3. So what that means is that earlier that week, you'll have an opportunity to come to Farwell to pick up 3 supplies. This year we'll be passing out contractor bags, those paper lawn bags. You get a couple of some gloves for your cleanup as well. And yep, you'll come to pick them up as long as you register. You can't just stop by because we have to pre-make the bags. And I think we'll be getting some t-shirts as well. So for some of your groups. So we also have combined this year with Flower Day. For some of you in the past, you've participated with Flower Day, but we'll be picking up flowers on a separate day than supplies. And so that pickup is going to happen at Northwest Activity Center because we'll be giving out flowers with District 1, 2, and 3 this year. And we also are adding trees. So we have about 500 trees that we're giving out for this particular beautification effort. And so we really want to encourage you all to, one, plan first if you're wanting to participate. Plan and really visualize what you want your beautification project to look like and be. So then when you come to pick up your flowers, when you register for your trees, you know what to pick up. You have that vision and we can help support that execution. Also, if you have a large enough project that will require volunteers, you can put that down in the request, and we're able to partner those that are wanting just to volunteer with our district or wanting to volunteer through the department or through the city. So we have city departments. I think we have 3 so far that are wanting to volunteer with District 3 specifically on our weekend. And so if your project can hold the support, like some real heavy get down to the ground labor, we want to put them to work. So if you have that, please give me a call, but also register so I can flag that and see if we can slate those volunteers and connect them. Okay. Any questions about Motor City Makeover? And just a reminder, it's Motor City Makeover 365, right? So the partnership that you have with our office is not just on this one initiative throughout the year, it's throughout 365 days of the year. This is just a kickoff, a real just like exciting time to just boost morale, beautification on your block and your community. But we also partner with you all throughout the year to do special pickups for free when you have cleanups or other efforts. Well, anything that we have left over from the Motor City Makeover, which we get donated, you're welcome to. If you need extra bags, if you need extra things throughout the year for a cleanup, we're happy to work with you.
And we're hoping we get our no dumping signs as well that we like to share with you all to go out into your community to help combat some of that dumping that we see and have. Also another thing I want you all to really think about is that if you have recurring areas that are like, you know, dumping grounds, please communicate that to our office so we can submit it for potential either dummy cameras or real cameras. And so, or signage. So those are the three options that we have. Dummy cameras, real live cameras, or signage. It's investigated upon the referral, but at least if you can communicate that with our office, because communication is key when we're working together in the city, we can at least refer it to them and let them know what to look at. Okay, you had a question?
Yeah, do we have to be part of an organization to receive the gloves and the bags for the cleanup?
If you are registering as an individual, that is fine. However, since we like to really emphasize block clubs and community groups, because we know the effort can really make a huge impact when you're being able to work with your groups and community neighbors. Okay, but yes, you can still register as an individual. You're welcome.
What's the website?
The website for you to go ahead and register, and I also sent D-Rob some flyers so that hopefully will print out. Let me let you know. You can go on to DetroitMI.gov, of course, which is the city's website. And if you're not familiar with it or you need help navigating it, let me know. Let's figure it out. But you will go onto that landing page. You can put Motor City Makeover in the heading, and it will populate. But I will also get you the exact Motor City Makeover handle if you'd like. And you can also call. So there is a telephone number for you to register to if you'd like. For those of you that are like, I don't want to go online, I don't want to do all that. You can call to register in advance 313-224-4415. Again, 313-224-4415. Yes, 313-224-4415. And the website is so simple, motorcitymakeover.org. Please go give it back to her. And so again, our date is May 4th. And that Saturday, and we will be communicating with you all for the pickup locations and dates and so on and so forth. Any questions about that?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, say if you want to plant trees, but you got these big humongous trees that need to come down. Would you all have those put down? Basically smaller trees.
In a perfect world, I wish I could say yes to everything you ever asked me, Ms. Ruby. But in all full transparency and honesty, that does not seem feasible by May 4th, right? So realistically, what we can do is look at areas that can take those trees, right? What are some of the areas that could benefit from the trees that you may want on a lot or in a vacant area that's over by you? And if the tree needs to come down and it falls between the sidewalk and the berm, I'm your girl, right? The sidewalk and the berm. If it's on private property, I'm not your girl. So we gotta figure that out. But I still want you to benefit because we have these trees, right? And we know how important trees are for the environment, how they help us breathe clean air, and they're free, right? So we can benefit from some of these things that we can. Well, if they're done properly, right? So let's be honest about what trees and how they work. So if they're planted properly, you know, in a right area, thoughtfully planned out, they're not going to impact our sewer lines. But we just need to be able to plan, communicate, and educate ourselves on these things. So, any other questions about Motor City Makeover? Yes.
Not from Motor City. When is Flower Day?
Flower Day is going to be the day before, I believe the 3rd. We're going to send correspondence out to you for your time and everything else. So it will be either the day, I think it's going to be that Friday. They're confirming, but it will be a pickup at Northwest Activity Center.
You said Northwest?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you pick up supplies for?
That supply day is going to be on a Wednesday. Yes, ma'am. That will be, is that May the 1st? That's May the 1st. it would be between, I think it's 3 and 6:30. But we'll be sent, once you register, you'll be getting correspondence from us on all of the details. And a time slot, we'll be calling you, chasing you, calling, all the things. So, making sure you're aware of what's going on, okay? Just another friendly reminder, as many of you should know or will know now, our GFL will no longer be our trash provider starting June 3rd. Okay, some of you are so excited about it. Some of you are like, well, what's going on, right? And so what's happening is that starting June 3rd, Priority Waste Management is taking over. And now we will have a weekly regular trash and bulk pickup, okay? That's huge, right? That's huge for the city. So that was a big initiative. Priority Waste.
Did they pick up any yard waste to end up today? They was looking to pick up one today.
So if yeah.
Yes, I need to pick up some because I'm giving me.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over what to do if you, as of right now, if GFL or any provider is not picking up, we'll talk about how do we get that serviced, okay? So just to let you know, like I said, Priority will be doing regular trash and bulk pickup. And the other thing is, I don't want this getting out too loud, but they're gonna pick up construction debris. So I know some of you may be remodeling your basements. A lot of us may have seen people putting construction debris on the curb and berm. We recognize that and we know it's a huge problem, and that's what's contributing to some of the blight in our neighborhoods. So we are very excited for this partnership to move forward and helping clean up our city. So in the event that you have your recycling, yard waste, or your trash is missed, what do? The first thing I love to tell people is call GFL to hold them accountable and give them 24 hours to address their mishap, okay? A lot of times what will happen is either the truck is full and they'll go past it with the intentions, or a truck is down, but they're not able to communicate with the area or the resident. Please notify them, because it is their job. This is something you're paying for, the service, and let them know. They'll give you a ticket number and they should service you within 24 hours. If after that 24 hours, if they do not service you, you contact my office and I will contact them directly. But I love to be able to give them an opportunity to do their job. But if not, we will intervene. That's kind of how we got here to a new waste collector, because of how many times we've had to intervene, but we still want to hold them to what they're responsible for doing. Also, if you don't know their information, we do have a resource guide. I believe that there's some out there on the table. If we don't have enough, I'll make sure that everyone gets one in here. That's in here. There is a massive list of numbers for any and everything that you could have ever wanted, including GFL, which will change. So we're going to have to update this as well. But you do have contacts for every city department, as well as outside city partners that we work closely with directly. You've never seen one before. He's just loving it. So, any questions about that yet?
Priority waste stuff.
June 3rd. So that first week of June. And if you all are not receiving text messages for your waste collection, I would definitely encourage you to sign up. What it does, it's really helpful. It helps me out a ton to know, like, oh, it's recycling, or oh, this is not going to collect today, especially when there's a holiday. And so you can text this number. Yes, June 3rd is when we're looking for them to start, and that is in here as well in the resource guide. It does notate the June 3rd changes. It also gives some great visuals of what we pick up and what we don't pick up, what's acceptable. And one thing I think is really important is to note, and I know we see a lot of improper trash put out, right? People just piling everything on top of everything on top of everything. One thing is really important to do, sir, is to make sure when you're putting stuff out to the curb, to make sure it's all separated. So if you have your yard waste, or you have your bundled tree debris, which is supposed to be bundled, and I know it's tough, but that's how they would like for it to be. You have that separated from your black trash bags, and you have that separated from, maybe your bulk items, to make it easier on those that are collecting. They can't dig through those piles, right? Detroit is huge. Our districts are huge. And so if they were to go through every single pile and dig out what's proper for each trash receptacle or trash collector, it would take them days, weeks to just collect, you know, some of these blocks. So just be mindful of that, please. And yeah, any issues that you have regarding that. Oh, I also want to let you know this, and I need to like make sure that this is true, but it was told. So if you have a trash can that you have from the city, it has a 10-year warranty. So I don't know if you all know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. So you 10 years. 10 years. So if it's within the 10 years, so say that the trash top is off or it's damaged in any way, it has to be defective in some way, shape, or form. It can't just be, oh, I want a new trash can. But if your receptacle needs to be replaced and there's legitimacy behind that, they have that ability to replace it. This is what I was told. If they give you any lip or something, call me, because I'll go to the person who told me. But I want to hold them to it. So if you need one, make sure that you contact the Department of Public Works. And also, if you're a senior and you're not receiving the trash discount, we need to make sure that you get signed up because you are eligible to have a reduction for trash with your tax. Senior, so I believe senior is 65. It does. Well, I need to check my senior age limit. Yeah, like, well, I'll verify that and I'll make sure that once I come with the paperwork that you all can fill out if that's okay. Yeah, you're welcome. So I'll make sure to have that for you. Enough copies. Yes. Yeah. You're right.
Overload there. That's the one with 15 in their house or 20. They need two people. They need two. They need 5.
Well, I do believe that if there are children in the household, that they can have 2. So yeah, so it's just, you know, sharing the information that people can, you know, benefit and utilize. And moving forward. Yes.
Could you please, when you come, if you're able to come to our next meeting, bring, that information like that, whether or not you can have like more than one can, if you have children and stuff. Because in the past, we've only been allowed, whether you got 1 kid or 10, we've only allowed to have that 1 can.
Grown folks need more than 1 can.
I know, I need that. Yeah, I will send an email to see if I can get that information, but that was what I was told.
Okay, and then the other thing is, when you say that those cans were good for
You got a question in the back.
for 10 years, the garbage man helped tears our cans up too. When their trucks are not working properly and they slamming them down and busting the top and busting the wheels. And then we've had to actually, if we wanted a new can or whatever, we had to pay. So we need some clarification on that.
So I'll come back with some clarification on the 10-year warranty. I'll make sure to have that senior discount paperwork as well. And then also the more than 1 trash can information. Maybe I can just invite somebody from DPW. I actually have them coming to our District 3 meeting the last Tuesday of this month. So DPW will be talking about some of these things as well on the 23rd. Yeah, on the April 23rd. So, yeah. So you all are more than welcome to attend. Our meetings are virtual though right now, and they're every 4th Tuesday at 6 p.m. If you are receiving emails or notifications to your phone or email, you'll get our updates as well. So you're more than welcome to come check us out. Last thing is, I just want to let you know, any other questions? I know there was a hand raised. Was there someone back there?
I'm sorry, I'm scratching my head.
Oh, it's okay. It's just what, Jeff, you gotta check, right? This week is demolition week, through the demolition department. For those of you that are interested or may, have an interest in learning more about the demolition process, this week, every single day they have allocated to different discussions around demolition. Its process, what questions they can answer for you. Today was debunking miscommunication or misconceptions through community conversations. They had a conversation at Faith Experience Church earlier today, or actually 5 to 6:30. Tomorrow they have, something down at the Detroit Public Safety Headquarters at 10:30 tomorrow. And that conversation is gonna be about unlocking opportunities, to take part in building tomorrow's careers. So if you know someone that's interested in maybe getting into demolition or learning more about that career field, that this may be a great opportunity for them to check out. On Thursday, they're gonna be talking about the misconceptions, again, about demolition through community conversation. That is going to be at Jones Memorial, Kojic off of Evergreen. I think that's District 2, from 5 to 6:30. And then on Friday, they are going to have a spring kickoff cruising with our director Counts to go to different sites. I believe you'll actually witness firsthand a demolition and really learn and understand that process. So our city has come a long way through the demolition, as you all may have seen or witnessed, in regards to just seeing more available empty lots, homes coming down or being rehabbed, right? And so I think the best resident is an educated and informed resident about every city process. So this is just one opportunity that you can take to learn more about one that has greatly impacted us as residents. That's all I have. Yes. I do, I have cards. I'm gonna give everybody a card. And also my information is in the resource guide on the first page. You can feel free to reach out. Kenzie Current is my the deputy through the Department of Neighborhoods. We work hand in hand together to make sure that you guys have answers and are able to better understand process, connectivity, and whatever else we can figure out that we may or may not know how to do. So thank you guys so much for your time.
Okay, I know we're like kind of behind here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the raffle, and we're gonna raffle up a $25 Visa card. Where you can use it, you know, when you want it, or a piece of. We're gonna go ahead and raffle that one off now. I was gonna keep the officers here too long. Let's play cards. Get it. Full force. Oh, he played. Okay, well, I didn't play, okay. I didn't play, so I'll be.
They're the
It's, Kathy on here.
As we're getting on.
What about Alma Curry? Okay, and Margaret Peterson Young. Okay.
The last 3 digits. Okay, 730. Or 730, last 3 digits. All right. Bing, bing, bing.
Thank you.
And there you go, my dear. And thank you, Jerry. Absolutely. Wait, okay, okay, and then we're gonna do the event. Okay, get up each of two and then we'll just go on and they'll get rid of it. Let's just. Okay, and now we're gonna go for the, anybody who, did the membership so far. We're getting ready to give you a ticket and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the ring doorbell. When do I give you my money? Leon is gonna take care of you.
What's that?
$25. So we have no more, so you gotta give her a ticket here, Leon. Thank you.
Okay, that's sign up.
I need another right here. I need to know. Nobody can look at none of it together. Right here. Okay. Yeah, very low. These go. Once they get to go down there, did you never? In the background. Every night. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
Your committee, everybody. Oh, I gotta bring y'all. We should have had that meeting. So we got one in our mouth. Inside, they don't really think.
Yeah. So we just hold on something. No, we'll give you another, you don't give them enough, no. Don't hold it. We can do it next week. You know what? Like, what? Yeah.
Keep your things, I know.
Next year, but. But no, we won't know. And I don't want you guys to try to hold on to the black. Yeah.
But this the number will still be.
Right, but it's your name on, so if you're not here, who do I know that?
Right. Oh, you have to take them off and just give it to them. That's what I'm gonna have to do, and I'm gonna check off whoever won, then we just put a check on the one that's on the list that's remaining. Then what we'll do is put a name and then give you another ticket, so we'll do it that way next month. Okay, all right, that's what we'll do.
That's what I'm about.
Okay. So we're gonna have, so that's what we're gonna do. So we'll put whoever the winner is, we'll check with a little check mark, and then next month you guys get a new ticket, but we'll put your name on it in here, okay? Okay. All right.
Come on, Kevin.
No, we go to. Okay, the last three digits, here we go. 761.
761.
All right, here's one. All right, come on. Okay, we will know that. How we have good ones. There you go. Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. Okay, so my meeting is not adjourned, and y'all doing too much. So, now the meeting, unfortunately, is 8:45, and I'm sorry to keep you guys for so long, but we got a lot of good information. I wanted to make sure you guys got this information. So we will see you next month. Be safe. Thank you for coming out and all that good stuff. I think the next one is May 12th. I think it's May 12th. Okay, 12/13, so it must be.
14.
So it's the 14th, it's the 14th. So enjoy, oh, and by the way, happy Mother's Day, Mom. So. Yeah, it'll be after Mother's Day. So thank you guys for coming out, and I'm sorry to keep you guys for so long, but thank you.
All right, keep the light outside.
Yeah, that's the good part about it, and I know your bill.
No, I don't have.
No.